So we'll be continuing our discussion on the character and life of Dhruva Maharaj. So we'll be reciting the verse number 34 of the chapter 8 of the Canto 4 of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So this chapter is entitled Dhruva Maharaj Leaves Home. So Canto 4, chapter 8, text number 34. Guṇa-adhikān mudaṁ lipset anukrośaṁ guṇādhamāt maitrīṁ samānād anvicchen na tāpair abhibhūyate guṇa-adhikān mudaṁ lipset anukrośaṁ guṇādhamāt maitrīṁ samānād anvicchen na tāpair abhibhūyate guṇa-adhikān mudaṁ lipset anukrośaṁ guṇādhamāt maitrīṁ samānād anvicchet na tāpair abhibhūyate. Guṇa-adhikāt, one who is more qualified. Mudam, pleasure. Lipset, one should feel. Anukrośaṁ, compassion. Guṇa-adhamāt, one who is less qualified. Maitrīṁ, friendship. Samānāt, with an equal. Anvicchet, one should desire. Na, not. Tāpaiḥ, by tribulation. Abhibhūyate, becomes affected. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Every man should act like this. When he meets a person more qualified than himself, he should be very pleased. When he meets someone less qualified than himself, he should be compassionate toward him. And when he meets someone equal to himself, he should make friendship with him. In this way, one is never affected by the threefold miseries of this material world. Purport. Generally, when we find someone more qualified than ourselves, we become envious of them. We become envious of him. When we find someone less qualified, we deride him. And when we find someone equal, we become very proud of our activities. These are the causes of all material tribulations. The great sage Narada therefore advised that a devotee should act perfectly. Instead of being envious of a more qualified man, one should be jolly to receive him. Instead of being oppressive to a less qualified man, one should be compassionate toward him, just to raise him to the proper standard. And when one meets an equal, instead of being proud of one's own activities before him, one should treat him as a friend. One should also have compassion for the people in general who are suffering due to forgetfulness of Krishna. These important functions will make one happy within this material world. Mukam karati vachalam pangullanghaite giring yatkripa tamaham vande Sri Gurudinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. So yesterday we started our discussion about Dhruva Maharaj, and we concluded how Dhruva Maharaj, what is the name of the grandfather of? Okay. And what is the name of the great-grandfather? Very good. So wonderful. So you have understood everything now. Still, to make our understanding better, we will continue our discussion. So Dhruva wanted to sit on the lap of his father, King Uttanapad. But he was not successful. Rather, he was insulted very badly. And Dhruva became very, very angry. Very angry. Why? He was 5 years old. Although he was 5 years, they fight. That is their expression of tolerance. So Dhruva was in that spirit. And as soon as he came to his mother Suniti, already news started spreading. This kind of news spread very quickly. That's why it is said, good news is no news. Controversy means it will become very popular. So that's why in order to become popular, controversy is required. So here, the story, the incident was narrated by other ladies to Dhruva's mother. So Suniti already knew what happened. And Dhruva came. He was very emotionally disturbed, very angry. Suniti was also very disturbed. But Suniti acted very maturely. He told Dhruva that please don't wish anything bad for anybody. Although your mother spoke the words very harshly, but whatever she spoke is correct. If you want to fulfill your desire is to sit on the lap of your father, sit on the throne. That can be fulfilled if you take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and worship Him. And he was giving the example that your great-grandfather Brahma also achieved his creative energy by worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Brahma became Brahma by worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We all know. When Brahma was created, Brahma did not know what to do. But he heard tapa means do austerity. So by the instruction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Brahma underwent severe austerities. And by that, he got the potency. So Suniti was giving that example. And he also told your father, your grandfather, they all got their perfection through worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So you should follow in their footsteps. So worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead and taking shelter of Him is the perfection of all life. So we all want shelter. But we have a tendency to take the shelter of material facilities. Dhruva wanted to take that shelter, the shelter of the lap of his father. But that shelter put Dhruva down. And that will apply, that applied to others, that's applying to others, and that will apply all others. In the same way, when we take shelter of material things, that will not be to take shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So taking shelter is natural. But when we take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, our life becomes successful. Why? Because when we take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we attain eternity and will be always protected. We will be always protected. That's why one of the name of Krishna is Achyuta. He will never fail. Prabhupada used to say that doctors will be successful all the time, but he will definitely fail one time for everyone. And that failure is death. Right? But Krishna is not like that kind of doctor. He will never fail. So then you may say, oh, then devotees, those who have taken shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead will not die. That's the question people ask. If the devotees die, and those who are not devotees, they also die, what is the big deal to be a devotee? People ask this question. But Prabhupada says very nicely. Prabhupada says, a cat will die, a dog will die, everyone will die. But one who dies knowing Krishna is a successful death. What is the success? Janma karma chame divyam evang javetti tattata takta deham punarjanma naiti. That is the formula, that is the principle. But when someone takes shelter of Krishna, complete shelter, that is known as Saranagati. Bhakti means Saranagati. Saranagati means Bhakti. It's nothing sentimental. It's a scientific process. So what is the meaning of taking shelter? Taking shelter means following the instruction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as it is. We have to give up our own ideas because we always have wonderful ideas. Right? And more we are intelligent, we have more wonderful ideas. Ideas may be very wonderful, but it will not work. Same thing happened to Arjuna. If you hear his logic before Krishna started speaking Bhagavad Gita, it was super intelligent. Right or wrong? But after giving that intellectual lecture, Arjuna said, I am confused. So he was confused by his own logic. He was very, very logical, very, very intellectual, but he was confused. Same thing happens to us. That's why spiritual journey begins, real spiritual journey begins, to give up our so-called intellect. And it's very difficult to give up, because we are very attached to our own ideas. And for them to learn something is very, very difficult. Two students came to learn music. So the teacher asked the first student, do you know anything about music? He said, I don't know anything about music. So how long I need? He said, I'll teach you in 6 months. Then the teacher asked the second student, do you know anything about music? He said, yes, I know so many things. I went to so many teachers. And he gave a list, what he knew. Then the teacher replied, you need 1 year. And he was shocked. He said, my friend doesn't know anything about music, and you told him that he needs only 6 months, but I know so much, but you are telling that I need 1 year? He said, yes, because you know so much, so I need 6 months to make you forget. Then after that, you can start learning. Then that will be another 6 months. That's why it's 1 year. So if we know, then it's very difficult to know. That is the principle of spiritual journey. So Saranagati means, I don't know anything. That is the beginning of Saranagati. Srila Prabhupada told, when Abhaycharan De met His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. So Saraswati Thakur told Abhaycharan that you are an educated boy, you are an educated man. Why not preach Krishna consciousness, the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, in English-speaking language in the Western world? But that time India was under British rule. So Abhaycharan was part of that freedom movement. So Abhaycharan gave a logic. Wonderful logic he gave. He said, who will take the message of India seriously? India is under British rule now. So our duty is to make India free from the British rule. Then the world will take the message of India seriously. So what do you think? The logic was good or bad? Huh? It's wonderful, not good, wonderful logic. From social point of view, political point of view, so many point of view, it was wonderful logic. Then Saraswati Thakur replied that political situations in this world are temporary. But principle of Krishna consciousness is eternal. The spreading the message of Lord Chaitanya cannot wait for independence of any country. It is very, very urgent. Abhaycharan was defeated. And he said, first time I was defeated. Generally when you are defeated, you feel happy. But Abhaycharan, they said, I was so happy to be defeated by Saraswati Thakur, and I accepted him as my spiritual master. So what is the qualification of a disciple? The qualification of a disciple is that he should feel happy by being defeated by his spiritual master. Lord Chaitanya said, what is the mood of Lord Chaitanya? Prakashananda Saraswati in Varanasi, along with his associates, they are making a lot of remarks about Lord Chaitanya, that what kind of sannyasi he is. He took sannyas from our sampradaya. The purpose of sannyas is to study Vedanta. But instead of studying Vedanta inside, and he is singing, dancing with not only with few people, he is singing, dancing with thousands and thousands of people. Is this sentimental person, singing, dancing, crying, laughing? Ashray Koriya Bhaje, who worship Krishna by taking shelter of his bona fide representative, Krishna tare nahi taje. Krishna does not reject him. He will never be rejected by Krishna. Baki sab more akaran. Others, they just die unnecessarily. They will come and go. They will come and go. Useless life. So here, Dhruva Maharaj was trying to take shelter of the lap of his father. And what he got? He got wonderful experience. He got very, very bad experience. And that principle applies to everyone. when we take shelter of material facilities, we will have this kind of experience what Dhruva Maharaj had. We should not think it happened to Dhruva Maharaj. Person in this kind of experience. That's why Dhruva Maharaj's mother did not recommend to take shelter of his father. So she told to take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is very, very important. So then journey continued. Then Dhruva Maharaj asked, so where can I find the Lord? So his mother said, I heard Satya Juga. So on the way, Narad Muni came. Very interesting. Bhagavatam explains, Narad Muni heard about the news that Dhruva Maharaj left home. So how Narad Muni got the news? That time no WhatsApp. Suniti never sent the WhatsApp message. My dear Narad Muni, my small child going, please take care of him. She never said like that. So how message was transmitted? We have to understand that we should not think that we are very advanced. They are much more advanced. That is transcendental WhatsApp. Paramatma to Paramatma. You don't need any phone, mobile phone. It's a transcendental transmission of message. When Parikshit Maharaj came at the bank of Ganges, all the sages from the universe came and assembled in a short period of time. How did they get the news? Same. Not only from Bhuloka, from upper planetary systems also, people came to witness the glorious departure of Parikshit Maharaj. How the news spread. This is the way. This is the transcendental transmission of message. In the same way here, Dhruva Maharaj was a sincere devotee. And Paramatma is there in the heart of Dhruva. Paramatma is also there in the heart of Narad Muni. Prabhupada nicely explains in the purport. So when someone is very, very sincere, our original Guru, the Chaitya Guru, the Super Soul is our original Guru. He reciprocates and he sends a bona fide representative of him to help. So that representative is the spiritual master. It's not a sentiment. What is the definition of sincerity? Who gives 100% for Krishna's service? He is sincere. It's not a part-time service. Sincerity does not mean part-time. Giving 100% for Krishna is the symptom of sincerity. And to that kind of devotees, Krishna personally reciprocates and arranges the spiritual master. So Dhruva, he started testing Dhruva. So spiritual master tests the disciple and disciple also tests the spiritual master. And when they become successful in their tests, then relationship is established. So Narad Muni started the process. He told Dhruva, he started discouraging. Narad said, you are a small boy, why you are taking the words of your mother seriously? It is not a time to do austerity, it is a time to play. And many big personalities, they did austerities for so many lifetimes. Even after that, they did not find perfection in their life. So whatever you want to do, you can do later on, not now. Go back home. Then he was giving advice after advice. And the verse today we read out, that was the last verse. Narad Muni spoke to Dhruva to discourage him to go to the forest. And in this verse, that verse number 34, Narad Muni is giving a very important principle. If we apply this principle, then we will not be affected by the three modes of material nature. We will become transcendental to the three modes. What is the process? Process is very simple. It all depends how we interact with people. So, Narad Muni is telling, if we meet with somebody who is superior to us, we should feel joyful. If we see someone who is inferior, we should feel compassionate. And if we meet someone who is equal, we should make friendship. If we do this, then we will be unaffected by the three modes of material nature. But Prabhupada in the purport writes that we do something which is not according to Narad Muni's instruction. As soon as we see somebody superior to us, we become envious. If we see somebody inferior, we deride him, ridicule him. And if we see somebody equal, instead of making friendship, we try to make a show that how I am better than you. I have done this, I have done this. We try to impress that person. So in that way, we become inflicted in this material world. So root is envy. And envy comes from material attachment. Because we want to enjoy this material world, and material attachment comes from avidya, ignorance. So that is the root. And what is the meaning? So forgetfulness of Krishna. Krishna Bohirmukh. One is Krishna Unmukh, other one is Krishna Bohirmukh. When we keep Krishna behind us, that is called Krishna Bohirmukh. That's why it is said, Krishna Surya Sama Maya Hai Andhakar Jaha Krishna Taha Nahi Maya Adhikāt. Why we are in this material world? Because we have turned away from Krishna. If we turn away from Krishna, what we will see? We will see Maya. But we get the embrace also. We have the choice. Embrace is available. Krishna's embrace, Maya's embrace. Which one is better? Really? But we are here. So Prabhupada said, why you are here? Because we like it. Everybody is feeling nice. So Brahma came to Indra, who was in a pig body. He said, please come back, we are not finding suitable person. Sometimes we think that we don't find suitable person in ISKCON for positions. It's happening in the universal governments also. So Brahma is not finding a suitable person for Indra. So he came to Indra, who got the body of a pig. And said, please come back. He said, no, I am very happy here. So when you stay in a certain condition, you feel happy. I was hearing a story that one person entered into a jail in this world, in this country. And he was there in the jail for many years. So one devotee went for a release from the jail. Why you are feeling sad? He said, no, I was so happy here. I was the boss here. Whoever comes new, they surrender unto me. Whatever I instruct, they follow. Whatever I want, everything is available here. Now if I go back to the village, nobody will respect me because I came back from the jail. What is my prestige? Reputation is gone, finished. It's a real life story. So he started liking to stay there. So I like it does not depend on any condition. If you stay in a certain condition for some time, you like it. Indra liked the pig's body. So liking is not a big thing because covering potency is very, very powerful. That's why Jananivas Prabhu, one of the Prabhupada disciples, the head priest of ISKCON Mayapur, said, if I am powerful, and there will be no hindrance and disturbance in their journey. We'll continue. So spiritual life means we have to stop our personal liking. Saranagati means we have to give up our own likings, our ideas. That has to go. Then real life will begin. But it's very, very troublesome. So now, Narad Muni is giving such a wonderful instruction here. If we apply this principle, very simple principle, but this principle cannot be applied because we have problem within. As long as envy will be there, you cannot apply this principle. You cannot be happy seeing others. Happiness means who is a Vaishnava? A Vaishnava is that person who feels happy by seeing others happy. Who is a Vaishnava who feels sad by seeing others in sadness. Lord Ramchandra was very, very popular in Ayodhya. What was his qualification? He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, ideal in everything, but celebrating something joyful. So Lord Ramchandra used to go and used to celebrate that joyous moment with them. And in that way, Lord Ramchandra was very, very popular. And that is the quality. He used to feel joy, seeing others joyful, and he was feeling sorry when he saw someone is in a sad condition. That is the symptom of a Vaishnava. Para dukhe dukhi, para sukhe sukhi. But what is the symptom of envy? Para sukhe. We are not happy what we have. Rather, we are unhappy what we don't have. Right? I don't know whether I told this story to you or not. There was a man, he worshipped some god and he got the benediction. The benediction was that he can build a wonderful house. One beautiful house will be built by the Lord. So he expressed that benediction, that I want that benediction. So Lord said, Tathastu, so it be. You will have a wonderful house. But along with that he said, whatever house you will have, if you have the size of the house of the neighbor will be double than you. But he did not hear that. So in that village, there was not many houses. That story is little different, sorry. He said, I should get whatever I will desire. That was the benediction. The Lord said, yes. But he said, whatever you will get, your neighbors will get double. That was the benediction. So he started with the house. He said, oh, I don't have good house. So he desired that, my dear Lord, let your benediction become true. I want to have a wonderful house. So immediately wonderful house manifested. And when you have good things, you want to show to others. He thought that better I call the neighbors to show that, see what a house I have got now. So he went out to call the neighbors. Then he saw his neighbor got better house than him. He got one storied, he got two storied. He said, let my house be two storied. So he got two storied, but he got four storied. Whatever he is getting, neighbors are getting double. He was very upset. In the village, nobody has that kind of house. But he was not happy. Why? Because his neighbor is having, by seeing the two eyes of the neighbor, became blind. This is the nature of this world. This is a symptom of envy. That's why we cannot be happy. So happiness does not come from things. Happiness will come from our consciousness. It's internal experience. But that experience depends on our purity in the heart. So when we are free from envy, then whatever principle Narad Muni taught Dhruva Maharaj, that can be practiced. That's why Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam explains that we have to give up envy. That is the first principle of spiritual life. And unless we accept that principle and practice that principle, it's very, very difficult to go, not for me. I will not accept. I cannot accept your teachings. So Srila Prabhupada explains, whatever has been spoken by Narad Muni, it is meant for the Brahmanas. But Dhruva, he said, my heart is pierced by the harsh words of my stepmother. I want a kingdom greater than my great-grandfather Brahma. That is my desire. Please tell me how I can achieve that in an honest way. He did not want to adopt dishonest means. He wanted to follow the Shastra. That is Vedic culture. He wanted a kingdom greater than the kingdom of Brahma. He wanted a kingdom greater than Satyaloka, Brahmaloka. That was his desire, but he did not want to do in a dishonest way. He wanted to follow the path of dharma. So earning money is not a problem. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. That is Vedic principle. If you to earn money, that is not recommended. So Dhruva Maharaj is having material desire. He wants to fulfill his material desire, but he wants to do it in a dharmic way. So follow dharma is very, very important principle. But in Kali Yuga, dharma is not followed. There are 4 legs of dharma, 4 pillars of dharma. Satya, Daya, Tapa, Saucha. Satya means truthfulness, Daya, mercy, Tapa, austerity, Saucha, cleanliness. Why these pillars are broken? Because of the 4 prominent sinful activities of this age of Kali. Meat eating, gambling, intoxication and illicit sex. So because of these sinful activities all over the universe, that's why the legs of dharma, the pillars of dharma are destroyed. But Dhruva was following the path of dharma. He asked his spiritual master that I want to achieve a kingdom greater than Brahma, but I want to do that in an honest way. So honesty is very, very important. Following dharma is very, very important. And Dhruva was very honest in his heart. He did not show off that I want spiritual perfection. When we go to a doctor, we have to tell our disease honestly. Then we can get the proper treatment. So spiritual master is a doctor. And when a disciple approaches a spiritual master, Disciples should, generally we have a tendency to hide our anarthas. When we hide our anarthas, this anartha will destroy our spiritual path. So I give the example. It's a very interesting example. Hiding is, why we hide? Because of the ego. How can I disclose my weakness? People will come to know. Because of that ego, we cannot reveal our heart. To reveal our heart, it needs some quality. So there is a hunter. So that hunter used to hunt in a jungle, but somehow the government has made a law that you cannot hunt in that jungle. But the hunter is addicted for hunting, whether it is legal or illegal. So he entered into the jungle, but he kept his gun under a coat. It's a long black coat he had. It's a big long coat. And he kept his gun inside. That nobody could understand. So he was moving around and he saw a jackal. So when hunter sees animal, they become very allured. They cannot control. Just like when someone loves eating, as soon as they see some good food, they cannot control, right? One day Arjuna heard some sound at night, dark night. He heard there is some sound from the kitchen. So he wanted to check. And he saw that Bhima is eating. Nothing is visible, pitch dark. But he was expertly eating. Expertise. So by that eating, some revelation took place in the heart of Arjuna. Eating can also become the source of learning. So that's the quality of a learner. Student can learn. So Arjuna, by seeing Bhima is eating in the dark room, he thought that my brother, if he can eat in a dark room, why not I can practice archery at night? Why can't I shoot arrows in dark? So from that day, Arjuna gave up sleeping and he started practicing at night. That's why one of the name of Arjuna is Gurakesha, who has conquered sleep. Practice, focus. But he learned that from Bhima. But point was different. When you see something, for you have weakness, then you cannot control. The hunter could not control seeing the jackal, and he took his gun and shot it. And the jackal fell on the ground. Then when the sound was there, shooting the gun, then forest officer heard the sound. Then the jeep of the forest officer started approaching. Then the hunter thought, I am finished now, I will be arrested. But he started thinking, let me do something to avoid the arrest by the forest officer. What did he do? The jackal's size was not so big. He kept the jackal under the coat. So he was standing. Forest officer came, what are you doing? No, wonderful forest, thank you forest officer. You are maintaining the jungle, forest so nicely, really. Then started talking. And he was a good talker. So forest officer also was talking. He loved talking to that hunter. So hunter was talking, forest officer was talking. The talk was continuing. But inside something else is happening. So jackal started thinking that I have to die anyway. So before I die, I should have my last meal. So jackal was eating the flesh of the hunter. It was happening inside. So externally the talk was going on, inside the feast was going on. Then after some time, forest officer left. When forest officer left, the hunter fell on the ground, dead. That's the situation. Listen to, we learn from this story is that when we hide anartha, the jackal is like anartha, and the long black coat is our pride, ego. So when we cover our anartha under our ego, that anartha will eat up our bhakti and will be spiritually, devotionally dead. Is an ideal example of a disciple. That's why he could pass the test of Narad Muni. So Narad Muni was testing Dhruva Maharaj. But Dhruva Maharaj passed the test. He said, I don't want all this instruction because my desire is to get a kingdom greater than the kingdom of Brahma. Please tell me what I am supposed to do. He was very, very honest, straightforward. And because of that, Narad Muni was very happy. And what Narad Muni says after Dhruva passed the test will be discussed tomorrow. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Grantharaj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. There is some time is there for question and answer if you have any. I want to be the king of a kingdom greater than Brahma. So Narad Muni was very happy because Dhruva was honest. Narad Muni knew. It's not that Narad Muni did not know. But he was testing his determination. He was testing the goal of his life. He was testing his honesty. So when Dhruva passed all the tests, so Narad Muni gave the real instruction, what was needed.
Material journey will continue. So most of us live outside in association of devotees regularly. So what happens that this is it becomes very difficult to follow this, and because outside world is completely based on this principle. So how to how to preserve our purity as well as and follow this kind of high consciousness of nothing for myself or leaving my intellect one side and so this is my question, that we get affected by the people in the materialistic atmosphere.
Yeah, there are two journeys. One is journey of your duty and one is spiritual journey. Just like Arjuna was fighting, that is his duty as a Kshatriya. He was not living inside the temple, right? What he was doing? Arjuna did not say, oh, how can I practice this? I have to fight the battle, better I go to the temple and join full time. Then I can practice it. So practicing the spiritual principle does not depend where you stay. It depends on your sincere desire to follow, and you have to have a proper teacher to guide you. If you have these two combinations, wherever you are, you can achieve these principles. But it's a process. You cannot achieve it in one day. Our problem is that we want to get things very quickly because everything is very fast nowadays. Right? Fast food, maybe T1. One ball, one game. We want very fast. That's why we have a desire that there is a principle, आज हुआ भर्ती कल बन गए चक्रवर्ती. ऐसा नहीं होता है. Prabhupada says the husband and wife got married. If the wife wants, I want a child now, I want a child now, whatever she can want, but child will not be available immediately. Both have to be potent, they have to follow the process, they have to wait, then child will be born. In the same way, spiritual life is also a journey. Adho Shraddha, Tata Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivriti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava and Prema. But we want to be a Prime Bhakta immediately. Prabhu, when we can cry? When we have enthusiasm, when you have faith, the process works. When you don't have faith, we cannot be enthusiastic. So whatever Krishna spoke, whatever has been spoken by the previous acharyas, whatever is spoken in the Shastra, I have faith. That faith will give enthusiasm. Utsahat, Nishchayat is connected. When we have Nishcha, determination, Dhruva Maharaj was determined. That's why he was so enthusiastic. But he was also waiting. He did not have to wait long because he was very determined and very enthusiastic. He achieved the perfection in 6 months. Parikshit Maharaj achieved perfection in 7 days. Kattanga Maharaj in 1 moment. So it depends, right? But he had some work, he had to go out of the village and he had to catch a train. But he did not know where is the railway station. It was out of the village. So he was going to the railway station and on the way he saw a farmer cultivating the field. He asked the farmer, how long it will take to go to the station? Farmer was not responding. He was louder to make it clear. Louder, no response. More louder, no response. He thought maybe he has some hearing problem. So he started running, thinking that I may miss the train. So when he started running, then the farmer said, it will take 10 minutes. He said, I was asking so loudly again and again, but you are not answering. But as soon as I started running, you are telling 10 minutes. Why? He said, when you asked, I didn't know your speed. But now I can understand your speed. So that's why it will take 10 minutes. So how long it will take depends on our speed. So when we will achieve this principle depends on our speed. For someone it may take 1 day, someone it may take 1 year, 1 month, 1 life, and it can go beyond. Depends on the speed. Okay? Hare Krishna. Either, that's why those who stay next to the station, they miss the train. He is very close.
मतलब प्रोहिबिशन सिचुएशन आती है हमारी लाइफ में तो फिर वो सब भूल जाते हैं और उनको अप्लाई नहीं कर पाते जैसे कि कोई मतलब गुस्से वाली सिचुएशन आ गई तो हम टॉलरेट नहीं कर पाते सुनते हैं तो लगता है कि बहुत आसानी से कर लेंगे और सरेंडर भी कर देंगे सीनियर्स को लेकिन बाद में जब कोई प्रॉब्लम आती है हमारी लाइफ में तो फिर प्रॉब्लम मतलब मुश्किल हो जाता है वो सरेंडर करने में तो ये कैसे बात है
क्या क्वेश्चन क्या है आपका
क्वेश्चन ये है कि उनको अप्लाई कैसे करना है जो हम सुन रहे हैं
आपने तो आंसर दे दिया जब साधु के साथ रहते हैं अच्छे एनवायरनमेंट पे रहते हैं तो ये सब करने की इच्छा रहता है तो उस संग में रहिए तो इच्छा बना रहेगा हरे कृष्णा इसलिए बोले साधु संग तो साधु के साथ रहोगे तो साधु बनने की इच्छा होगा असुर लोगों के साथ रहोगे तो असुर बनने की इच्छा होगा तो इसलिए चूज योर एसोसिएशन प्रॉपरली ऐसा नहीं सत्संग साल में एक बार करोगे तो कैसे होगा If you want to become a cricketer, if you practice once in a year, you can become a cricketer. मैं बहुत सिंसियर हूँ क्यों आई प्रैक्टिस once in every year. प्रभु I am a very धार्मिक man, you know, I come every Janmashtami. I give donation also. I do abhishek also. So by that कुछ होगा कुछ तो होगा लेकिन जो आप मांग रहे हो वो नहीं मिलेगा ठीक है ना एक बस और एक वो बाकी सब है तो टाइम भी नहीं है तो ठीक है जल्दी पूछिए
जो डिटरमिनेशन था वो उनको मटेरियल चाहिए था इसलिए उनका इतना हाई डिटरमिनेशन था लेकिन जब हम भक्ति करते हैं हमको बताया जाता है कि मैं धर्म में सुंदर
तो डिटरमिनेशन नहीं लगता है
हम ट्राई करते हैं कि वो ना आए
कौन सा मटेरियल डिजायर
लेकिन फिर उतना ज्यादा डिटरमिनेशन नहीं आता जितना ध्रुव महाराज का 6 महीने में भगवान को प्राप्त कर लिया उन्होंने
तो आपको क्या क्वेश्चन क्या है
बिना मटेरियल अटैचमेंट के बिना मटेरियल डिजायर से वो कैसे हमको प्राप्त करना है
ठीक
स्पिरिचुअल अटैचमेंट हमको कैसे
आपने बहुत अच्छा प्रश्न पूछा मैं हिंदी में बोलूं और अंग्रेजी में बोलूं हिंदी में शयने जागरणे सोने के टाइम भी जब जागृत थे उस हर 24 घंटा वो कृष्ण का चिंतन करते थे। ऑलवेज रिमेंबर कृष्णा, नेवर फॉरगेट कृष्ण। तो भक्त बन गया क्या? क्योंकि डर से उन लोगों का कृष्ण चिंतन होता था, नेगेटिव। तो इसीलिए हम लोगों का क्या है, जब मेटेरियल अटैचमेंट रहता है तो अटैचमेंट जिस चीज में होता है उसमें डिटर्मिनेशन ज्यादा होता है। इसीलिए हम लोगों को मेटेरियल अटैचमेंट उतना स्ट्रांग नहीं हो सकता है। लेकिन हम लोग जब स्टार्ट करेंगे तो धीरे धीरे जब भक्ति में आगे बढ़ेंगे तो हमारा जो डिटर्मिनेशन है वो बढ़ता जाएगा। ठीक है, ये तो नेचुरल है। जैसा हम लोग जो कोई मेटेरियल चीज देखते हैं उसमें हम लोग स्पॉन्टेनियस अट्रैक्शन रहता है कि नहीं, रागानुगा भक्ति सुना ना हमने। तो हमारा इस विषय में रागानुगा भक्ति है। क्यों? क्योंकि उसके लिए हम लोग साधन किए हैं। कब तक कितने देर तक साधन किए हम लोग? अनादि काल से साधन किए हैं। बहुत जीवन से हम लोग साधन किए और साधना में सिद्धि मिल गया है, क्या आए हैं और परफेक्शन मिल गया है। इसलिए सेमिनार का कोई जरूरत नहीं है। लेकिन अट्रैक्शन मत होना, अट्रैक्टेड मत होना, माया है, इसलिए ट्रेनिंग कैंप हो रहा है आपका। क्यों? आपका प्रैक्टिस चल रहा है। सो प्रैक्टिस करने से धीरे धीरे डिटर्मिनेशन भी बढ़ेगा। ठीक है, लेकिन अच्छे संग में रहिए तो हमारा जो अच्छा क्वालिटी वो मैनिफेस्ट होगा। ठीक है, हरे कृष्ण। आप डिसाइड कीजिए कौन उठाएगा पहले।
हरे कृष्ण महाराज जी। महाराज जी, आप बता रहे थे, यू वर टेलिंग अबाउट दिस कि वी शुड हैव, Dhruva Maharaj was very honest and he had an honest means of getting his ambition. So his ambition was very, very high, which he took, and he wanted an honest means. So generally some students, they ask this question कि if we follow this method, that being honest, so are we not missing out on this word? मतलब मिस आउट हो जाएंगे, कंपटीशन इतना तगड़ा है, तो we'll be missing out.
What they will miss out?
Means in the competition.
If you are honest.
If they are honest.
Because most of the people are dishonest.
So what they should do? What should we do?
Dishonest, at the same time we can achieve. I want to be the greatest dishonest person in the world. So you choose that. Who will stop that? So now you have to choose what you want in life. Success? Then what is the meaning of success? And how to achieve the success? What means you want to be successful? So first define the success. That is the first step. What is the meaning of success? Earning money and getting position is the success, right? In this modern society, if that is your principle.
कुछ अटैचमेंट्स होते हैं जो हम सोचते हैं कि बहुत ही ज़्यादा डीप है, और अगर हम स्पिरिट के पास जाएंगे तो वो शायद उसके लिए रेमेडी दे, और शायद हम बोले कि नहीं करो कुछ चीज़ें, बट फिर भी हमें पता है कि हम उसको फॉलो नहीं कर पाते, तो हमें डर लगता है कि हम जाके बताएंगे, हम बताएं फिर हम डिसओबे भी करेंगे हमको, तो फिर वो डर रहता है। तो उस केस के हमें लगता है कि हम थोड़ा ज़्यादा प्यूरिफाई हो जाए, थोड़े हमारे मेंटलिटी ज़्यादा हो जाए, फिर हम जाके रिवील करें। इस केस में क्या करना चाहिए?
Again, it's your choice. You want your disease to be cured or not. किसी को कैंसर हुआ है, आप सोचेंगे जो कैंसर है लेकिन हम अभी इलाज नहीं करेंगे, ये बुद्धिमानी है क्या? तो कौन करेगा? जो सोचेगा कैंसर बीमारी है नहीं, अच्छा है। तो हमारा मेटेरियल अटैचमेंट यही होता है। हम लोग सोचते नहीं ये हमारा बीमारी है, हम लोग सोचते हैं बहुत अच्छा चीज है। The things which are harming us, we are thinking that is very good for us. That is because of ignorance. Ignorance के कारण हम लोग अनर्थ को छुपाते हैं। हम लोग नहीं चाहते हैं क्योंकि हम लोग अटैच्ड हैं, ठीक है नहीं? इचिंग सेंसेशन बोलते हैं प्रभुपाद। तो इचिंग करने से क्या होगा? खून निकलेगा। जैसे इचिंग होता है, ऐसे ऐसे करोगे तो खून निकलेगा, और खून निकलने के बाद हम लोग सोचते हैं बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है, यही मेटेरियल एंजॉयमेंट है। तो हम लोग ऐसा चाहते हैं तो चलते रहेगा। लेकिन हम लोग चाहते हैं इससे ऑपरेशन करने के लिए तो आपको डर से मुक्त होना चाहिए ना। हम लोग को जानना चाहिए हमारा कोई डिजीज हुआ है तो ऑपरेशन करने का जो दर्द, वो दर्द को आपको सहनना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि वो दर्द सहने से क्या होगा, आपका जो ये गहरा दर्द है उससे आप मुक्त हो जाओगे। तो अटैचमेंट छोड़ने का जो दर्द, वो हम लोगों को टॉलरेट करके वक्तों के पास जाना है। और जब हम मेटेरियल अटैचमेंट का दर्द से हम लोग मुक्त हो जाएंगे तो हमारा जो आनंद मिलेगा, वो आनंद से ये सब दर्द हम लोग भूल जाएंगे, है कि नहीं। लेकिन इसलिए हम लोग को प्रिपेयर होना चाहिए। हम लोग ऑपरेशन चाहते हैं कि नहीं? बहुत सारे लोग ऑपरेशन करना नहीं चाहते हैं, लगता है वो इतना डर ऑपरेशन से। तो ऑपरेशन नहीं करने से क्या होगा, आपका बीमारी नहीं जाएगा, तो उससे ज़्यादा आपको उसका दर्द ज़्यादा भोगना पड़ेगा। अभी उस दर्द को छुपाने के कारण आपका अभी थोड़ा सा दर्द हो रहा है, लेकिन बाद में जब जितने दिन जाएगा आपका दर्द बढ़ता जाएगा। लेकिन अभी उसको आप रिवील करोगे तो ऑपरेशन के जो दर्द वो सहन लोगे, तो बाद में कोई दर्द नहीं रहेगा। तो हम लोग इस प्रेय और श्रेय क्या चाहते हैं, हम लोग प्रेय में अटैच हो जाते हैं तो श्रेय नहीं करते हैं। तो भक्त लोग श्रेय, वो परमानेंट चीज चाहते हैं। तो हमारा परमानेंट की ओर चाहने के लिए हम लोग को क्या करना पड़ेगा, हमारा जो अनर्थ है उनको बोलना चाहिए। लेकिन किसको बोलना चाहिए? जो एक्सपर्ट है। कैंसर पेशेंट जो हो, कैंसर स्पेशलिस्ट के पास ना जाके ऑर्डिनरी फिजिशियन के पास जाओगे तो क्या होगा, आपका बीमारी ठीक नहीं होगा, है कि नहीं। इसलिए अच्छे डॉक्टर के पास जाना चाहिए। हरे कृष्ण, लेकिन जाना चाहिए। टाइम हो गया। लास्ट क्वेश्चन।
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, my question is, what should be the parameter to know that someone is superior, inferior, or equal to me? Is the achievement of materialistic world like name, fame, money, or the advancement in spiritual world, like someone is more devoted to Krishna, or any other parameter?
Very good. So superiority, both I can speak in English. Superiority depends on different categories. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling, if someone is elder than me, he is superior. If someone is having higher varna than me, he is superior. Varna means Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra, according to Varnashram. Someone is having higher ashram, he is also superior. Someone who has taken up Krishna consciousness before me, he is superior. So there are different parameters of deciding superiority, both from material point of view and spiritual point of view. But real parameter from the spiritual point of view is that who is more advanced than me in Krishna consciousness, he is superior. So how to understand? That is a detailed discussion. Okay? Hare Krishna. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत भक्तवृंद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल।